Hello, this is Yo Sensei. Today, we will go over some of the Rhino skills to construct fluid organic geometries. The commands are Boolean Difference, Flow Along Surface, and Cage Edit. These commands will let you produce parametric-like design without using Grasshopper. These designs are useful for creating dynamic facade and canopy for your spatial design. Okay, let's get started. First, you need to check your file unit is in inches, so you can see at the bottom if it says inches or not. If you double click or right click this and go to unit settings, you should be able to change units if it's not inches, so make sure it is inches. So first of all, we are creating this kind of 5" by 5" by 2" CNC tiles. So we need to create this bounding box. Okay, so we will get to that. So in order to create the bounding box, what you do is you want to just extract a wireframe of a box. So what you can do is to go into use the box command and use with grid snap. From the origin point, type 5" by 5" by 2". Okay, so that's going to give you this kind of solid. So you will run this command called DUPEDGE, and DUPEDGE is going to duplicate the edge of the box. So now you can just delete the 3D box, and then you will have a wireframe of 5 by 5 by 2. Okay, now you can then just name this layer a bounding box and lock this one. Okay, so the first cube that we would like to create is this kind of randomized subtracted box. Okay, so first what we do is we will create this kind of 3D box. Okay, and use the sphere command to create a bunch of spheres. You can turn off grid snap in this case, and then start creating a bunch of spheres. The goal of it is that this is going to fill up the entire top surface of the box. Okay, so that's pretty good. So I am going to just move it in here and then kind of adjust the height by looking at the perspective view. GSA to zoom selected or to focus to one place. So that looks pretty okay. I could actually make it a little bit smaller to just move it around. And what we don't want in CNC file is the undercut. So the center point of these boxes needs to, of the spheres needs to be slightly higher than the box. Okay, so that's good. So we will run command Boolean Difference, and subtract it. So this is first one that we can do. And make sure when you go to the properties, this object is closed solid polysurface, and that's going to let you create this one you won't be able to CNC it unless this is closed polysurface. Okay, so this is number one. Number two is this kind of surfaces that you actually create by drawing lines and then manipulating it. So now what we are going to do is turn on grid snap, and then we will create a single line segment grid onto this, and it's helpful if you lock the bounding box layer so that you don't have to select it. So now you can select these 3 lines and then just keep copying it. copy this to this area, and then you can take these lines and then copy them. Okay, so that's a simple grid. Okay, and now what we are going to do is we are going to manipulate this in a way that these lines right now are 1 degree curve with 2 points, 2 control points. So we are going to rebuild these curves to 3-point count curve at 2 degrees. So what we're going to have by turning on control point by typing PON is we have this kind of curve. So there are 4 control points in this intersection. So make sure to select these control points from by dragging it. So now you can like start to kind of manipulate these control points by pushing and pulling and create different types of trees. So I guess instead of just doing everything like regularly, I can just take some of the lines and do it a little bit more randomly. So this is interesting. So we have different types of surfaces from here to there. So now what we have is the actually I forgot to do that. So I need to, if you forget to select control points all at the same time, you have to actually move it using move command and the project off, and then just move project off and then move from here to here and here to here. All of the curves needs to be right on the control point in order for this to work. Okay, so all it is that we have 4 of these curves that are creating boundary condition. So you can run EDGESRE command to create surfaces based on 4 curves. So you can just select from left to right to create these EDGESRE condition. Now, EDGESRE only works on 1 to 3 surfaces, or 2 surfaces, 2 curves, or 3 curves. So 2 curves or 4 curves, yeah, that are creating edge condition. So make sure to you know, find the boundaries of this and then create edge condition. I am going to explain how to create a solid condition for something like this in the next video, so you can stay tuned for that. So this is top surface is a continuous you know, condition, so I can just type join to join the surfaces. So this is single surface, and so this one is okay. So that would be the EDGESRE methodology. Okay. Number 3 is to create this kind of, you know, surface with flowing effect, and so that would be interesting. So first thing that we would like to do is to create curves that are on this edge, and there is an interesting one that is called changing construction plane. So right now construction plane is on the XY axis, that is at the bottom plane, and if you change the construction plane to this face of this cube, then you're able to draw on this plane, which is nice. So from here, cascade construction plane and find set CPLANE by 3 points. So select this one, make sure your project option is off, and then you can define origin point and X direction to the right, and then Y direction to the top. So now our construction plane is aligned to the to this face of it. So now we can just click on project command because we want to draw on this plane, and then take the polyline tool and then start from somewhere. Make sure your smart track is on. Okay, so something like that. Now I would like to change the construction plane to this face. So I turn off my project and then set construction plane by 3 points, origin X and Y. Now it is the construction plane. Set project snap and then click on it, and then we are able to draw on this plane. Okay. So now we again turn off project and then take the 3-point construction plane, origin XY, and then turn on project and then draw these lines. Okay, and the next one also is a changing turn off project and then 3 points, origin X, Y, turn on project and then draw these ones. Okay, so we have these 4 edge curves. Now at the end you can go to the construction plane, set CPLANE to world top, and then this will reset your construction plane. So now again we will do the same thing that we did as a edge surf to create a surface like this. So this is pretty cool, flowy surface. So the next thing that we are going to do is to draw a simple surface on the XY plane using grid snap and same size as our original one, so 5 by 5. And now on this plane we are going to draw a pill type of shape. So you can just draw a curve and then run pipe command at 0.1 radius, and then make sure that your cap is rounded cap. You can select it from the tool option. So 0.1 inch radius with round cap. So that's going to give you this kind of pill shape. So that's good. Okay, so and then now we are going to kind of copy this in Cascade. So copy the first one, and then after that select the second one and copy from the first one to keep the same distance from the first one. So that's good. And then I will copy the whole first group and then make it into this, and then you can kind of like build it in a more like a subway pattern, and then subway tile pattern, and then you can just deselect these and then just copy from original points. Okay, so that is good. So now make sure that your objects are kind of sitting in the same plane as your object. So we can do 2 ways. So one is subtractive and one is additive methodology. So in order for this to become a Boolean operation, you need to create a make this one into a solid. So in order to do that, what you can do is to create a box and then make the box to be bigger. Okay. And now you can actually split this box with this surface. Oops. Split the box with this surface. Okay, so now you can just get rid of it. And then if you join between this surface and this rest of the box, then it will become closed solid polysurface. So that is good. So now we are going to run this command called flow along surface. So I am going to just show you 2 methodologies, and I will copy this one to here. And so first run flow along surface command, and then object to flow along surface. In this case, I would like to have this one, these guys copy. So I'm just gonna, copy these guys, group these guys. Control click to deselect and group. Okay, and so take flow along surface command, and then take this group, press enter, and base surface. So essentially what you're doing is you're copying this object from this, taking this surface into this surface. So you can take this as a base surface and then click on this as a destination surface. So now we have, these series of objects that are flowing into this one, which is pretty cool. So now what you can do is run Boolean Difference command and take this one, enter, and delete with this one. So Boolean Difference failed, and so this happens a lot, and it doesn't really tell me why. So when this happens, the best way to do it is to just ungroup it and then try doing it piece by piece. So BD, and then this one works, this one works. So you keep doing this until you get it. You can do several pieces at a time. Okay, so something failed. So there is something wrong with ones in this area. So I think Boolean difference failed on this one. I don't know why. Sometimes when your object is sharing the edge condition as your other object, it will fail. So I'm just going to slightly move it to the side and then see what happens. So it worked. So, there was something wrong with the intersection between these objects. So let's try if everything else is going to work. Okay. So now it worked. So this is kind of like a pill condition as a, subtracting. But I want to try the next one. So Boolean difference and not flow along surface, and then select this one, and then select the base surface, and then go to destination surface. And in this case, I would like to just use this as a positive. So what I can do is again draw a box object like this, a big box object like this, and then Boolean split. So what Boolean split is going to do is it's going to just split the parts that are intersecting only on both solid and solid. So Boolean split with cutting box. Okay, so now these boxes, these ones are split. If you ungroup it, these are split. So so the difference between Boolean split and the regular split is that regular split is going to give you open object, and then in this case Boolean split is going to close the object. So in this case, after that, you want a Boolean union. All of these. Boolean union failed. So I think it's the same object that was on the edge. So I'm just going to move this one slightly. And then Boolean union. Okay, so it worked. So closed solid polysurface. So we have both positive geometry and negative geometry for this one. So that would be the flow along surface. The last one that I would like to show you is to create this kind of, scalar scale gradation type of object. And we will be using flow along surface command to create that. So let's get to that. So first, we would like to create a grid of these four-sided pyramids. So open up pyramid command and then change number of sides to 4, and then create the pyramid on a on this kind of diagonal view. So now you can just copy them using grid using object snapping. So I think this is pretty good number. It's probably better if these are aligned at straight for now, or does it matter? Yeah. So let's just rotate this to flat. Okay, 45 degrees. So this command that we are using is called cage edit, and let's get to that. So type cage edit, and then the setting for this is control object is BOUNDINGBOX, coordinate system is CPLANE, and then cage parameters. I'm just going to use the number x point counts 6 and y point counts 6 and z point count 4, x degrees 3, y degrees 3, z degrees 3. So that is that, and the region to edit is global. So what it's going to give you is this cage point where you can just manipulate and move things around. So for example, if I take this series of points and then kind of make it bigger, then it's going to kind of create this kind of scalar, shift, which is really cool. So you can really play with it. So I am going to kind of like move this around and kind of put them inside of the bounding box, and maybe scale the whole thing smaller. First on the top view, I'm going to create a situation where I have big objects and small objects. So, you can really manipulate these things, these parameters. So this would be like something that you would normally do in Grasshopper, but you can just do it in regular Rhino with the cage edit command. Okay, and so now I would like to create some kind of like vertical tension. So I want this part to be higher, and then maybe this part is going to go very low, and make sure that this will not go over our bounding box, and maybe I can make it smaller a little bit here, and then maybe shallower. So you can really play with this kind of thing. Okay, so make sure that nothing is outside of bounding box, so that's good. So now we can just remove the cage, and then we will cut this out by doing the same command of Boolean split. So take this box, and then take these cube objects and then Boolean split, and with cut with this box. So whatever is outside of the box is going to be cut. And you are able to now delete it. And sometimes you need to be really careful about these small pieces. Actually, this piece was not cut. Yeah, and Boolean split again with this box. Oh yeah, I guess this one is actually not going through it, so it's slightly imperfect. So now we have this kind of geometry that are creating scalar shift. Okay, so that concludes the making of 3D tiles. I hope you enjoyed it and use this for creating various design applications like facade and canopy and things like that. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.